Did you know that you can use an operating system that is just a few megabytes in size? Today we'll look at 4 extremely small-sized operating systems, starting with the most feature-rich and gradually moving down to the smallest, with the last operating system being less than 1 kilobyte in size. Biggest, smallest operating system is damn small Linux. Now, I am running this off of a 50 megabyte live CD. After installation, the size could be a lot bigger, but here we can see how much stuff can actually fit inside just 50 megabytes of space. This OS was created as a way to revive old computers, or just for usage with low-spec hardware. So we have a wallpaper, we have some kind of a taskbar, start menu, control panel with a bunch of options, and we also have some applications. I see we have Firefox as well. Does it actually work? This kinda reminds me of something like Windows 98. And I actually want to find some information about this operating system. Let's try to find something. Let's open up the terminal. Okay, so this kernel is 2.4.31. I think that's from like 2003 or something. So this one is really old. Your operating system typically has a file manager. Wait, so this is how a file manager looks like. I just googled what is email FM. It's like a lightweight file manager. Create PDF, why is there a button for that? Oh, and there's like 2 different panes. I have never heard of these programs before. What the hell is Beaver? Beaver is an early advanced editor. Okay. I guess I'm just too young to know these programs. And it's just a very basic text editor. Then what about empty paint? What is this one? Why is the canvas black by default? And now what about this contextual menu? Okay, so there's more applications here than on the desktop. I thought it was just the same, but no. What is this? Enable APT, like the package manager, I think. Do we have any backgrounds? Yes, we do. Business card, maintenance. Okay. Then what about this one? DSL. Damn small Linux. That looks like it's made using Microsoft Paint or something. DSL, that one is also super simple. So this one is a really simple operating system containing all of the most necessary things. Now it's time to go even smaller. We cut the size in half to taking up just 23 megabytes of space with TinyCore Linux, which is running off of a live CD. According to the official TinyCore Linux website, their goal with this was to create an operating system that is capable of booting from a CD-ROM or pen drive. It is designed to run primarily in RAM, and people primarily use it to revive old computers, run on extremely low resource hardware, or what I have personally used this one for is attaching it to a Windows 11 virtual machine as a CD-DVD and modifying some system files that normally you would not be able to modify. I have created a simple virtual machine and just added TinyCore Linux as a CD-DVD to it, which would be equivalent to a USB stick on a real computer. Boot TinyCore. And there it is. It booted super fast. And on this one also, I can just click on the desktop and here we have a bunch of selections, a bunch of things we can do. Yeah, I just opened this apps app. Oh, I think this is like an application manager. And I just clicked on some application or some package and it's downloading it. So that was a super easy way to download programs. And I think that's also a reason why there's not much pre-installed on this operating system. I think they tried to keep only the essentials. Oh, and we have like a little dock on here. But this was TinyCore Linux, and this one also comes in like different packages. You can get different versions of TinyCore Linux. Next we have an absolute legend of small operating systems, KolibriOS. This one runs off of a 1.44 megabyte floppy disk, which contains the KolibriOS kernel plus programs. Also, I found out that the KolibriOS's monolithic preemptive kernel itself is less than 100 kilobytes in size. I couldn't find exactly why this operating system exists, but it's most likely also just an operating system for saving old computers, running on IoT devices, extremely low-powered hardware and such, just like the other ones we checked out. And also, one more thing about this operating system is that it can also run Doom, and that is epic. Although you need like a game file separately to play it. Wait, Floppy Bird. Yeah, this one we can play. And the whole operating system has been written in assembly. But the desktop interface actually looks quite nice. You can also make internet work on this one, but by default it doesn't work. It requires extra setup. EQ Lite, I think this is the file manager. It sure does look nice. Let's see, let's go to games. And can I create like a folder? New folder. Create. New file. Create. Shell. What can you even do with the shell? So these are the commands we can do. Very basic ones. I don't think there's a package manager. That would be pretty cool. System panel, what is this one? This one has like a macOS inspired design, which looks really great. And also one trick that I found out, we can also switch off this taskbar and enable docky, which is like a dock, as you might imagine, full width. And now it's a full-size dock, sort of like Ubuntu. Click on image to change position. Yes, I want to do that. And now it's on the bottom. That's great. Then background. I think there's no other backgrounds. I think this is the only one. TinyPad. This is Notepad. And then we also have emulators, Sega games, Game Boy games, some retro gaming. We can customize the color scheme of the operating system as well. Oh, and I can change icons of individual programs. And there's Doom icon. Now the shell is Doom. So that's KolibriOS. This one is super cool. And finally we get to an operating system that is just 512 bytes in size. This video's thumbnail is bigger than the operating system. This is called BootOS and it is created by Oscar Toledo. He calls it a monolithic operating system that fits in one boot sector, which is an area on a hard disk that contains instructions for a computer to start up and begin loading the operating system. It runs programs which actually don't run from the actual operating system, but rather you start them independently. And they also all fit in a boot sector. BootOS is really simple. It's only like a command line interface, like a terminal basically. And it only has about 5 commands that we can use. First one is var command, which shows the version of this operating system. There is no version at the moment, so it outputs the operating system's name basically. Then there's the command dir, as in directory. It returns all of the directory's contents, all of the files that are on the system. And here we can see I actually have a lot of files already created. And then the next keyword is del, as for delete. And with this one we can of course delete some of these files. Oh, and when you get something wrong, there's an error message, which is just oops. Delete rogue. I think I'm gonna delete most of them actually, to make a point. And now let's check the directory's contents. What do we have left? We only have like 7 or 8 files. Oh, and also one command that I forgot to mention is format. According to the documentation, this is a command that you should enter the first time you boot this operating system, as it initializes the directory. And then the last and one of the most important commands is enter. And this one is the coolest one, because with this one we can create new files. We have to write the enter keyword and enter a plus sign, because I think this one specifies a new line of characters. And in each of these lines you can enter up to 512 hexadecimal bytes in order to make a text file basically. And we have to put a plus sign for a new line. Then the next line of characters, this takes a lot of work. This is like each English letter in hexadecimals. And now also a new line, 00, and also a plus sign at the end. And after you're done with your program, you also have to give it a name. I'm gonna simply name this one Hello World and a plus sign at the end. And now we can check the directory and we have a program, Hello World. In order to execute the program, you have to type its name and a plus sign at the end, and then you just press enter. And there we can see we have a Hello World program. And I think I forgot an exclamation mark at the end. Yeah, that's sad. And actually also I put a comma in the middle. We didn't need that one. But what do you think? Do you think this counts as an operating system? Let me know down in the comments below. That's about all I had to say, and I'll be back.